I'm going to be demonstrating how to do the chainless starting stitch. And I'm going to demonstrate it doing the double crochet. I've done a couple of rows here where I've done the traditional or the basic chain threes on the end of your work. And I've also done one where I've done the chainless starting stitch. As you can see, I have 2 rows here, and each side is a chain 3 here and here, and they're very easy to see because it leaves you with a hole because of that chain 3 really doesn't have a body to it. It's just chains, which are thinner than any of the stitches that you make in crochet. As you can see on the 4th row, I have a starting chainless stitch, which there is no hole, and it makes it so much nicer. I'm going to show you the reason why it's done. It helps you to see your stitches all the way across to the end, because when you do the chain 3, a lot of people have problems keeping their work straight, because when you get to the end and you look down, as I am right now, you can see I have 2 stitches here that I can see that I would go into, but you really don't see the chain 3 because it's a chain 3 and it's usually always pointed in the opposite direction. If I turn it around, then I can pretty much see it. But if you don't change it around, and if you're not if you're new to crochet, it is hard to keep your work straight because you're constantly looking at your stitches, and with crochet you have to see your stitches to go into them, and with that you can't see it because it doesn't look like all the other ones that you've done all the way across the row when you get to the end. So what you end up having to do, or what ends up happening, is a lot of people forget that stitch and just keep on going, and your work starts to decrease. They start to fall in because they have skipped going into that chain 3. But the chain 3 is counted as a stitch, so you still have to go into it some kind of way. There's a lot of different ways to go into your chain 3. I go down in the middle, but I make sure that I pick up 2 loops to make it a sturdy end, as you want to do on any of your works, because you want it to be a little sturdy on the ends. To do the chainless starting stitch, what I do is I turn my work around. I don't chain, I don't do anything, but I do go into that first stitch with a single crochet. I make sure that I pull up that loop that I just pulled up out of that stitch just a little tall, and I finish off my single crochet. That first loop that I pulled up, I'm going to go back into it with another single crochet. And since I'm doing 3 chains, I'm going to go back into the second one more time with a single crochet. So I have 3 single crochets on top of one another, and there is my chain 3 on the end. It also gives me a body in that stitch. I don't have to do any second guessing of where I go, because now we have something physically in that whole stitch there. It gives me my height. It's 3 chains, and now I just go right across with my double crochets. And when I get to the end, there's my last 2 stitches for real. There's no guessing. If anything, you may want to go down the side of that stitch because you have a lot of other stitches. But to eliminate that, all you do is just count up 1, 2, 3 from the side, and you know that that is your last stitch, because you always go into the top of the chain 3, and you don't treat this any different. You always go into the top of the chainless starting chain. And there is the difference. As you can see, you have nice edges on the side. You have, it's all nice and full, versus the chain 3 where you have your holes that are unsightly. This stitch is really good for being able to put a border around your work. You also have stitches to go into, which makes it really nice. You've got those two. It's a very nice stitch. I really like it. I use it for everything. So it's really nice to work into. You can also do this for your half double. Turn your work, pull up with a single crochet, go into that first loop, pull up, your chain 2. I'll get across to this and I'll do it one more time so that you can see it. And this row is a row of half double crochets. It's my last stitch right there. 1, 2, 3. The top of it. There we have it, right there. Once again, I'll demonstrate it one more time, and I'll do the chainless starting double crochet. Go into both loops with a single crochet. No chaining at the beginning, just go right into it. Go into that front loop. 2 single crochets. Go back into that other loop. This is why I asked you, as you can see right now, it's a little tight because I didn't pull that stitch up. 1, 2, 3. There you go. That is how you do your starting, chainless starting, double crochet, chainless starting, half double crochet.